Weezy, I want to just say, I want to give you a compliment on the hat you're wearing. And Clark has some hats. We'll get into this because this might be a good topic of subject away from heavy things.
Yes.
That hat is very similar to a $10 hat that I got at CVS a few years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And
I need, you know what? I need to go to CVS to see if they have a 2X $10 hat because I'm tired of paying 40, 50, or 60 bucks for a hat. It's ridiculous. They always charge fat people extra for the extra material, not taking in mind that the little small people balance it out. Why should I pay more? So if you got a hat for $10, I got
2 of them. I bought 2 of them. They looked exactly like that. And I had a black, it was in January, so it was cold, you know, and I had a black slicker, like a black leather long jacket, and I wore a white tie. Man, I looked like, I had a little gangster thing going on for a minute.
That's what I'm doing. Yes.
Speaking of hats, the last time I saw Clark, he had a Cotton Club purple. What was that fedora you had? That was very precious to you. You weren't going to let anyone wear that.
Yeah, that's I like that look. You know, I like looking at the old photos, like in the 30s and 40s when guys would dress up to ride the bus or go to a ball game or something.
He's right.
But all you can do now is wear the hats. You know, you couldn't do that. You couldn't wear a suit to the Greyhound station without people thinking you're a contract killer or something. So,
but also you're in humidity about 9 months a year. Nobody wants to be dressed like.
No.
And people did dress like that in the old days. Probably in the humidity, they were dressing like the Cubans down there were dressing like that.
Yeah, the Cubans back, the cigar factory workers would show up, decked out nicer than people who show up to see, Broadway stage plays that are traveling down here. So, and certainly comedy clubs. Nobody dresses up to go to a comedy club down here. So,
and it's so funny because Clark is right because my mom's from Cuba. And right, and your area is right. A hop, skip, and a jump away, and it's always humid. But you're right, man. Those I had to dress up every day in white shoes. It was crazy.
Yeah, and you still see old guys here, and they hang out in front of the Cuban restaurants, and I'm pretty sure their job is arguing with each other because that's all they do.
Well, no, Cubans just naturally talk loud.
Yeah.
I mean, even when they see each other, like, hey, oh, I'm telling you, I used to walk out of my room when the Cubans were over and on Sundays. Well, visiting my mother, she had all these people, and every Sunday the Cubans would come over, and you think they're arguing, but they're having a great freaking time.
Yeah. They're like, why are they angry? They're not.
No, if a Cuban's angry, they're silent. You know what would be a great horror or serial killer movie would be The Quiet Cuban.
Quiet Cuban. It would sell tickets in Tampa, that's for sure.
Absolutely, man. There are a lot of, as you know, Stephen, celebrities that when they're doing their business or whatever they need to do it in a certain fashion that we've we normally do when we're doing business. And it's just not unusual. But when you're playing to the fans and the masses, when those front doors open, you have to put on your personality. You got to put on what got you where you got you there. And that's it. Because if Cat was really a pimp, I'd have more hopes.
I used to manage a movie theater down in Sarasota, and we had a film festival one time, and the guest of honor was Rosie Perez. Now, everybody knows Rosie's personal, her persona as ditzy, and she had to come into our office and use the phone, and she got on the phone, was handling some business, and I'm like, this is not a ditzy person at all. So that was the perfect example of somebody with their, the juxtaposition of the public persona and the actual person. So
it's so funny. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Okay, I just want to say this really quickly. Clark has had some really interesting jobs. And I was wondering, Clark, if you might be able to rattle off the quick list of your jobs that you've had, the most bizarre and interesting.
In no particular order. I managed a movie theater. I was a mascot's bodyguard for a Major League Baseball team. Let's see. I've cooked. I've waited tables. I've done stand-up comedy.
You drove hookers.
I drove. Yeah, I was muscle and transportation for a high-priced call girl. Yeah. The bodyguard thing and the call girl thing are probably the two ends of the spectrum.
Did you have a good hat when you would do that job?
Oh yeah, I wore I looked like Robert De Niro when I did that. That's how I pictured myself, because I would drop her off and then go find a place to drink coffee and be all jaded by the world, while I waited for her to call me.
So Robert De Niro from Taxi Driver, or like Robert De Niro from like Midnight Run? What?
Yeah, more like Midnight Run. Yeah, more world weary and
Right,
yeah.
right. Jack.
Yeah.
Why'd you leave the Chicago Police Department, Jack?
Right.
Okay.
It's
Bounty Hunter,
that,
Robert De Niro.
It's funny. It's funny that Clark would mention that, because about 3 years ago, I used to go to the beach every day. We're down to the beach every day for like an hour and a half. And one day there's this lady who happens to be sitting on the bench I sit on all the time. So I sit on the bench, and we strike up a conversation and all of that. And after about a month or two go by of us seeing each other on the bench and, having lunch a couple of times, and she was always flush with cash, I find out she's a call girl.
Yeah.
And she had asked me if I wouldn't mind driving her, And,
you got the look. Definitely. Yeah, you'd be excellent.
Right. That's what, but I started thinking, fuck, I can't run. If you're going to bodyguard somebody, you got to be able to run, right? And I haven't run since the 3rd grade. I don't even remember what that feels like. And I might trip and fall. So I had to turn the job down. So I'm glad I met someone who does that, who did that job, Clark. Thank you.
I was probably closer to Lavelle Crawford in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad as far as bodyguard.
Yeah, you couldn't run either. You took the
Lavelle
job
Crawford
anyway.
hasn't run since 3rd grade either. Yeah.
Yeah, but I could play a bodyguard like Lavelle did.
He had a hunger for giving people opportunity. So, and the audience was great. They was open, because I would go do my job. I'm gonna make them laugh. I'm make them feel. And you gotta remember, we was at Hollywood Park Casino on the main drag where we was entertaining pimps, players, and pushers. They would come and get their laugh on before they went out and took care of their business, which was like good for me, because I was like, when I go auditions, I was like, if I can make those people laugh, I can make anybody laugh, because we talking about the gutter people. So if you would have came, there was no need to fear, because that's what the first show, and Cat wanted that first show to be like that, because also he had a hunger for people as well that wasn't getting stage time. And we know stage time, people can be very stingy when it comes to stage time in LA, how it used to be, and everybody had their clique. So I thank God for Ricochet Entertainment, because that's where I honed my skills. I just thought
He gave you a place. He gave you guys
a place to work every Tuesday night, never miss a day, always on time.
So for those of you at home who are white or who are new to comedy, Cat House Live was the launching pad. It was the playground that allowed Cat Williams to basically take flight and become a major superstar.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In Hollywood.
Definitely.
And it's very, very similar to what Robin Harris had at the Comedy Act Theater, where Hollywood discovered a black comic who was entertaining people in the hood. And so it's really a piece of like Los Angeles legend.
But it is. And what's so awesome about that is, like, we had a great spot to work. And I have to tell you, a lot of people didn't want Cat on their show because Cat was so funny, so brilliant. So you had people wouldn't put Cat up because that's how great he was. Material. Cat used to go off the dome. He was off the top of his dome. He didn't write nothing down. It was straight off the dome. And so I knew all his material. When he did Comic View, We were in New Orleans. Remember
He
when
was already famous then.
No, he was famous but not famous. That was his getting in. He hadn't done any movies yet. He still was hungry. He hadn't done Fridays and all that, because that's really what shot him up when he did the movie with Ice Cube.
So
that's
Comic View, just for clarify, Comic View came before.
Comic View, tell him about the backstory.
No, Comic View came before Friday After Next. That's why I just wanted to be clear
Friday.
about that. Okay.
That used to be the only before we had HBO with Russell Simmons when he used to do his comedy, and we had BET Comic View. I knew his material, so when he did Comic View, I said, "Cat, we in New Orleans. That joke you have about Micah with the ball, which was his closing number when he did BET." I said, "We have a 99-cent store in LA." I said, in Louisiana, that's where we're taping it. They don't have a 99-cent. So I said, you have to change that joke to a dollar store. So he did. Because you gotta talk to the people, know what's going in their neighborhood. So now, because of that, every time a cat go in any city, he does his homework. And the first 10 minutes,
you don't have to tell me, because when I was there writing for him, one of our duties, I think you had left town by the time he went back on tour.
Yeah.
One of our duties was to look in the news for whatever city and throw out jokes based on the local shit that was happening in Denver.
You have to know. That's how you connect. And I was like, you got to change it. And I think, and man, Rick's like, Coreie, he got that from you, because I went out in the city. He was wherever he was. I wasn't walking in the city seeing what was going on, and I gave him that. And then when he got ready to do, which is Cat Williams live Let a Player Play, which is the first CD stand-up he ever did. I mean DVD they ever done. Ricochet came over my house one night when I used to live in North Hollywood, where I used to do my comedy at the crib, banging on my door. I'm like, "What's going on, Rick?" He said, "Coreie, he said, a cat needs you." I said, "He need me? What's going on?" He said, "He about to do his special and he needs you." I said, "What?" He said, "He need his material." So me and Rick was in my bar. I used to have my little bar with the table and all that, where I used to, my bar in the kitchen.
Sure.
We sat down together, an envelope. We could find an envelope. And I wrote all his bits, his tags, all on one envelope. Because he used to come, that's how brilliant he was. Cat didn't practice, he didn't write nothing down. He just would go on stage and be like just brilliant. And that's what I would tell people. I said, you don't understand. This Cat Williams but that old Cat Williams that we grew up on, he didn't have to, we would do clean comedy, so squeaky clean comedy, because I forgot the guy's name, but we used to do squeaky clean at a church function. Yeah. And you couldn't even say, only way you could say hell is if you use it as a noun, but not as a verb. You couldn't cuss. Cat was always the last one. He was the closer. Didn't cuss, brilliant. If I tell you, he was so brilliant, and I just was like, oh my gosh. So this, it was some good times back then.
He had an entourage of cars, like 7 cars, 7 like $80,000 cars, and my Corolla at the very back.
And me and you in it.
No, you were in the car with him. You were in the car with him. I was in the Corolla alone at the end, and I'm going.
So I dissed you. Like, okay,
wait. They're driving like in circles from Culver City to Marina. They're driving in fucking circles and like making U-turns at red lights and shit. And I get left at a red light because I'm 7 cars back. I get left at a red light and I lose touch with them. And I don't think I didn't have a cell phone with me. I don't know. Or your cell phone was off or something. Anyway, I got left. I didn't know where the fuck they were going. I had no way to communicate. So I just said, fuck it. I went to the family room to do my show. I got on stage, and on stage I said, you'll never believe. No, I didn't say that. I said, I don't think I was having a great set, okay, to be fair. I wasn't having a great set.
But you know what? You were good at bumming. When you bum, you will joke your bumming. That's how brilliant you are. Oh. When you get bummed and you joke the bumming, you get them back. Any laugh is good. I tell anybody, if you're bumming, joke the bumming. As long as you're making them laugh, it doesn't matter how you do it.
On this particular night, I said, hey, I met Cat Williams tonight. And do you know that entire crowd booed me because they didn't believe me?
Really?
They didn't
Oh
believe me. They didn't believe me at all. They're like,
booed.
you suck. Cat Williams would never be meeting you.
Oh no.
They booed me. So I get off stage. They didn't boo me off. But they weren't warm and like, you know what I mean? They weren't receiving that in a believable way. So I got off stage, and Lance, may he rest in peace, Lance came out and he said, Steve, Coreie Mosely's on the phone. Landline, Coreie Mosely's on the phone. I'm like, what? Oh shit, I hope she's okay. I thought you might be stranded somewhere, or who the fuck knows? Because I was your ride. That night. So I get on the phone, and you got on and go, where the fuck are you? Cat's really pissed off. He thinks you just left us. And I go, Coreie, and then I got pissed off. I go, Coreie, I did everything I could to follow that fucking entourage. I got left at a red light. That motherfucker left me. And I got angry, and you go, okay, wait a minute. And you put Cat on the phone, and I hear this very quiet voice, where are you exactly? Where are you at? And I said, I'm at the family room. And he goes, okay, well, do you know how to get back to the west side? And he gave me directions, and he gave me the phone number, and he said, call me. And very foggy night, and I drove all the way from the family room to Marina Del Rey, which I don't even think I'd really been to Marina Del Rey, over by where that was. So it was a weird and eerie, foggy drive. And I called him a couple times on the number, and he basically walked me through, and I ended up, and he was outside waiting for me, by the way. He was outside waiting for me, and I came in, and he was very, I was kind of pissed off because I thought you guys had left me. And I got there, and he was very polite, and anyway, he goes, I'll just need 15 minutes with Coreie. I just need 15 minutes, just 15 minutes for Coreie and I. And I go up and I go, 15 minutes, it's no big deal. It's like, let's say like 10:30 at night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. 15 minutes is no big deal. So I'm up there with Coco, his assistant.
Yeah, Coco, I remember Coco.
Right. So now let's fast forward to like about 2 hours and 45 minutes have gone by. Because nobody can tell you, if you don't know Cat, when Cat says 15 minutes, it could mean 8 to 10 hours.
Exactly. He doesn't have a watch.
No, he doesn't have and he doesn't have an internal clock. So,
exactly.
So 2.5 hours later, I started saying passive aggressive, belligerent things to Coco, because sometimes when you say the wrong shit, people will ask you to leave. I wanted to go home. I was tired.
I didn't know all this was going on with you, Lolli.
Yeah. And I thought maybe Coreie and I could get the fuck out of here. So, or maybe I can just get the fuck out of here. Either way, whatever will work. So then Cat comes up, because little do I know he's got cameras and recording devices everywhere. He's probably listening in on whatever I'm saying. Who knows? Maybe not. He comes up and he goes, he shakes my hand and he says, I'll just need another about half an hour with Coreie, and we're just catching up downstairs. And he hands me, in his hand is $500. $500 cash. And that $500 completely fixed my life.
Oh, I'm glad.
And I was happy to fucking stay there all night. Now, I don't know what your memory of this evening is, because it was like one of the turning points in my career. But I remember you guys coming up later with Lena, and it was us, you and me and Lena. Coco disappeared. It was you and me and Lena. We were all in the kitchen, and Cat, and we were talking and having a good time. And I hit it off with him. He became my friend. And he said, you can come and live here. We have facilities. All my friends write. All my friends get paid to write. I don't know if you remember all that, or if some of that is my...
my experience with Marina was like, it was a lot of people there. It was like, where are all these people came from because, you know, I was at the beginning stages of Cat's career. It was just me, Ricochet, Cat, Micah. I used to keep Micah when he would go on the road, his son. When Micah was like maybe 7 or 8. It was just us, and he had the twins, the baby dolls, the girls, and all that. Cat was doing this way before his even stand-up special. And then and then I forgot the other guy, his security. Cat had security then, okay? He was living his dream in his moment before it even happened. It's like he was already living it. He was already Cat Williams the Great. And so I remember that night being like kind of overwhelmed, and I was just like, who are all these people? Where did all these people come from? Because we had somehow we disconnected. We lost touch. And I just remember me, Kat, and Rick and Micah. You know what I'm saying? And we were all dreaming together. You know what I'm saying? So when I came in that environment, seeing all these people, I was like, who are these people? And then and it was just like, it was kind of overwhelming because I just remember just a lot of people in this place, constant, like 24 hours, you know?
Once we got to the beach house there.
Yeah, at the beach house. It wasn't a lot of, it's like every floor, it was like people there. It was like people.
It was insane. It was insane.
It was just too much going on. And so I just remember that. And I remember Cat, he put some money in my pocket also.
What did you say? I can't go to the beach? Oh, shit, I can't go to the beach. I'm going, boss, give me my semi-automatic weapons. We're going down to the courthouse.
Tell me about it, man. People are in an uproar to just go outside and absolutely do nothing. There's nothing to do. What are you protesting? Everything's effing closed. There's nowhere to go. The beach is exactly what you're talking about. That's all you really are fighting for, is to walk along the beach, park.
Wait, you telling me I can't go to the swap meet? You mean the swap meet's closed?
It's closed.
Hey, look, give me my bow and arrow. We're going to the courthouse.
Shooting, holding guns, man. Come on, man.
The entitlement.
What do you think, Jeff?
Ridiculous.
Jeff, you're a wise sage. Tell us what you think about this whole thing.
Man, first of all, the entitlement is amazing to me. Just like you said, I have to go to the beach. Forget the kids locked up in cages. I need to go to that beach. Forget the people dying from the coronavirus. I need to do a little surfing. It's amazing to me. You know, the whole thing is basically the art of war. You know, distract people so that to other things, the virus and doing this and that. And then you got the Trump out here. He's defunding the postal office. Why? Because then you can't really vote by ballot. You can't vote by mail. Exactly. So he's doing all these things that people are missing because they worried about going to a city hall or marching. You know, when did freedom of speech become, my freedom of speech is to cuss people out? It's amazing to me. These people are amazing. They're not fighting for the right things. I want the fight right to go out.
That's a failure of the education system in America, brother. I mean, that's what it is. And a failure of the media, because everybody has their, Rush Limbaugh. The right-wingers got the Rush Limbaugh. Everybody, the media is so fractioned. I mean, the right-winger conspiracy theorists have the Rush Limbaugh, Ben Shapiro,
Fox News.
Well, Paul
Fox
Manafort.
Breitbart, right. Fox News. And those are fractured too. The Fox News people are like the old centrist Republicans, and the Shapiro, Limbaugh. What's the other guy? Alex Jones is another one.
Screaming and yelling.
And then you've got the CNN and MSNBC, which is basically a fucking somebody called it grief porn. I forget who they call it grief porn, where they just run a cycle of paranoia. But it's all for their team, It's all for, you go here where your team is, man. There used to be laws in place to keep that from happening. And Ronald Reagan got rid of those laws.
Of course he did. He got rid of a lot, actually. Reagan, in hindsight, got rid of a lot. And it was not, we're all benefiting in a negative way 30 years later. Thanks, old Reagan, actor, president. Nice poster behind you there, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what made me think you were in South Central. Is that you, by the way?
Yeah, man, that's me when I had hair, brother.
That's That's a fro. It's a nice little. Maybe move to the left or right a little bit, Jeff. We can check it out. Oh yeah, look at that fro. Nice. Good times right there. That's that good times fro.
Can you answer this question honestly, Jeff? What year was that?
That was the year of the perm.
Soul Glow.
I had a perm. My hair was really straight. My hair's really straight.
Really?
Yeah. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, because I'm like 25% Choctaw Indian, and so my hair is like Indian. Like I had it down to my waist at one point.
Wow.
Man, that sounds cool. What, you just got tired of that, or this was the look? The fro was the look? Because this is before my time, brother.
Yeah, I would change it all up. I have that, and then I let it go straight. I would just go with different looks until I found one that I liked. And when I went bald, that's when I liked it. I said,
that's
this
what
is
I was thinking. That's the look that finally worked for you.
Yeah.
And a simpler look at that. Less maintenance.
Yeah, especially in a pandemic.
Not worried about a barber, huh? You
13 Jewish women, don't be fooled. This is a look that he's had long before this pandemic.
Yeah.
Cordell, did you ever do the fro, Cordell? You're doing the beard.
I had a fro, I think, in early elementary school years. And I remember it because I was rocking it hard and the fro was in. Everybody had one. And then my mom got the idea to go to the low haircut style, even lower than this. So I was the first one in my elementary school to cut the fro. Who would have thought that I had, I came in there and damn near murdered everybody, man. People came up to me and are you kidding me? Why are you cutting the fro off? It is and I'm like, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking you don't know, this is going to be the future. These slow haircuts is going to be, I'm just a little ahead of my time. So anyway,
ahead of your time.
Took a while.
Elementary school?
Yeah. I mean, it took another half a year before all the other kids were cutting their fro off. But until that moment, kids were picking on me, kind of making jokes, slapping the back of my head. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, man, just look, I'm ahead of my time. Check me out. And then eventually the fro.
Was it since this is a prescient time to ask this, was it possibly the Michael Jordan effect of him going fully bald?
No, you know what? It wasn't. It was before Michael Jordan. My mom was just about, changing cultures, man. She had me dressing certain ways and penny loafers and
she was dressing you up like a banker.
Man, she had it going on. In the moment, I didn't realize it, but in hindsight, as I got older, I'm like, my mom was better, but she had me pimped out early, man. So and then people follow suit. They're like, yo, check out Cordell in his corduroy slacks. Then everybody else had corduroys. No, actually, I was the only one with corduroy slacks.
She was dressing you like you were gonna live in Orange County one day.
Right. Exactly. She had me rolling in the conservative lifestyle very early on, man. So now I'm gonna be bald soon. I'm gonna be on the Jeff level. It's coming about another year, man. I'll be cutting all this off, man. And then I don't have to worry about going to a barber. I can do it my damn self. You need to get with your Jewish counterparts and rewrite that Shabbat.
You gotta have exceptions.
Yes.
You gotta have exceptions.
The bylaws, the Shabbat bylaws need to be rewritten.
Some Talmud should be. I don't think I have the leverage in the Jewish community to pull that off. But
you never know. You never know. You might, you bring it up at the next temple meeting. Be like, hey, listen.
If I get famous enough, maybe. Jewish people are mesmerized by importance.
Tell them your black friends said they need to put an exception rule into the Shabbat.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm going to say. You know what? I'm going to show them this episode. And I'm going to say we had a discourse. We had a philosophical discourse. Me and my two black friends had a philosophical discourse about the Shabbat, not shutting down the pussy. And now you can get pussy on Shabbat if you're married. You can be with your partner, but
right.
You're not married. Yeah, I think that girl was just being. I can't go back now. I can't try now because I shut her down. I totally shut her down.
That's an actress.
I felt disrespected, Jeff. I felt disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well,
look, If I give you any advice, do not mess with singers or actresses. I'm telling you from experience. Let it go.
A lot of drama.
Let it go.
It
Okay.
can be.
That's the
Potential.
obvious. That's the obvious piece of information that should have been stated up front. Thank you, Jeff, for clarifying something for those of you out there who may, if you're a guy and if you're thinking of moving to LA, yeah, don't put your energy into. It's not. I wouldn't say don't fuck a singer or an actress. I would just say don't put your energy into having any kind of cohesive relationship with one.
Dude, I've messed with working actresses, singers, famous, semi-famous. They all the same. It's all about me, 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 me. And, you know, when they come back off the road, they want 24/7 with you. When they come back from doing their project, they want 24. Dude, it's man. All right, here's one for you. So I'm at the Comedy Store. I see this girl walk in. Beautiful. Just most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I walk up to her. I'm like, you know what? You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. If I was your man, I would never cheat on you. She said, really? I said, yes. Walked away. End of the night, she comes to me. She's like, look it. Let's go to Jerry's Deli and have dinner. I mean, have something to eat. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, all right. We go eat. She's giving me these 4 or 5 numbers. She's like, I got a fiance, but it's cool. We can still go out, hang out. I'm like, all right. Shows my fiance. He's a singer, but, you know, if you ever need something, let me know, and he'll do a benefit. I said, no problem. So I'm thinking some dude that plays around town. So we're going to movies. We're hanging out. Finally, you know, we do the damn thing, and I'm like, well, shoot, you know, this guy must not be that important. So now I'm in the back with Mooney, and Stevie Wonder comes walking in, and she comes walking behind Steve, and I'm like, hey, Paul, that's the girl I was telling you about. And Paul looks at me and goes, nigga, that's Stevie's woman. You might want to let that go. I was like, oh.
There it is. Smashing on Stevie Wonders. He couldn't see it, so it didn't matter.
But he could smell it.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed whatever you saw on our channel today. Make sure to like, comment, and share everything you see here. And please hit that big red subscribe button. You have no idea how much it helps the No Idea Zone every time you hit that button. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next installment of the No Idea Zone.